crazy. A little girl, her dad and her sent me a I can barely hold the camera up anymore in my arms, so we sent me a video. It's her doing the song. I never actually heard the original before, and just from the kid doing it, they really kind of captured a nice excitement. I was able to see, like, you know, oh wow, that's an amazing song, you know. I really like the original. It's really nice. It's good. It's Katy Perry. It's not like usually my thing, but I mean, I go for all kinds of music, you know. I listen to everything. I give anything a shot. That kid, little girl, really did a good job of covering that. Her dad must have shot it for her. And then a lot of times the stuff I get, you know, so much synchronicity happens. It's like 5. I've been up since 5. I only work and sleep. It's the first cold time here. I had to leave the water running all night because it froze up a little bit last year. Shouldn't in this climate this far south, but man, this damn camera, I can't have it. There's no monitor. That's the only drawback to it. Like a little screen on the front. But yeah, most days, see, all I do is I work till I pass out and get up and do it again every day. That's the thing about, you know, for so many years, my arm's too weak, that left arm. Thank you, cigarettes. That's kind of the thing about art, is like, for so many years I was sort of hesitant to sit down and do it. If you do any kind of art, just do it. I've never, really very few times have I felt like, you know, getting up and jamming or anything, because I've done it professionally so long, all of this, it's like, oh man, you know, the thing used to be, well, I'm going to make $2 or $3 grand tonight, you know, in 20 hours here straight if I mix this good for this guy. You know, so the carrot used to be money, and it's kind of hard when you're doing it for yourself, but the payoff is I've done some really snappy productions for myself that'll be there forever for people and my descendants, you Blade Runner vlog followers. But yeah, but anyway, the point is, the stuff that I've done when I'm particularly in a lot of pain and just don't want to go on, you know, I try not to show around in here too much, because I'm so focused. I always have been sort of focused on stuff. I'm kind of a pig, you know. And then if I get focused on cleaning, I'm kind of messed up, you know, in the head. Then I'll just clean this damn RV and make it the greatest RV on earth for the next year. I know myself. At least that's good about getting old. But you know yourself better. But you know, yeah, with art, it was things I've done, music, videos, art. When I've been in the most pain and the totally most miserable, something comes out of everything. But on those, it's unbelievable anything comes out of it, because I really didn't want to do it. I was in a lot of pain, would have rather just laid down and done anything else. But just forcing yourself to do it, I think, is the key there. Something good comes out of it, because for so many years with music I was like, well, you know, I don't feel like doing it, and what if it doesn't come out like I wanted, and blah blah. I do like 2, 3, sometimes I did almost the entire Pink Floyd The Wall, which I'm going to be making videos for and posting, and have one already. I think it's only one. In like 7 days. I do like 2 or 3 songs a day. I did the entire Nirvana catalog as an orchestra over the weekend. Fucking YouTube. Band number, whatever they do. I don't understand that. It's just me doing Nirvana, but with an entire orchestra. And I'm trying to take audiophile stuff. I did a version yesterday. See, I had a brain injury. I'm making tea, actually. I'm probably not going to show you the microwave because it's just filthy. But again, you know, I'm jacked up that way. I tend to focus it's sometimes difficult for me to adjust my focus. I can't stop and do mundane household bullshit. And really, when you get the overall picture, what is the fucking point to doing all this household bullshit? I understand, blah, blah, but when you're doing something epic that's going to last forever, hopefully, epic, whatever, you might hate it, I don't know. Somebody will like it eventually. But when you're doing stuff that will last forever and is awesome, then vacuuming sort of becomes kind of blasé, So I've never been real good at sort of balancing. That cigarette's out almost. Balancing, switching back and forth between things like that. Now I can switch back and forth between film and video and running a business and all essential stuff, but I can't switch back and forth between running a business. I don't want to anyway, I guess, better said. I think I could. Between running a business and producing music, and I'm not running a business now, but I did for years. It's hard for me to switch between things that are sort of meaningful and epic to like ordinary bullshit. I just feel like I'm wasting my time with the ordinary bullshit, But, hey, be that as it may. Yeah, if you do art, just music or art, for many years, I've recorded off and on for years and years, but a lot of times what stopped me was I just felt like, well, what if it doesn't? What if it does turn out? I'm afraid of that. What if it doesn't turn out? I'm afraid of that. But just doing it and then producing stuff, the most important time comes later. And, I'm listening to it later when I'm in my right mind, because we're all in different, not in our right minds all the time. I need clarity to do that. And I get clarity a few hours a day, then other times I'm obsessively, doing orchestral instruments, cellos and violins and contrabass and bass and double bass and timpani, just insane mundane crap. So yeah, listening back in my right mind later seems to be choosing the right mixes, and a couple times I'm so forgetful I have to mark everything. I actually give myself, sort of negative thumbs in my iTunes playlist all the time. It's like, no, that only gets 1 star, 3 stars, and then the ones that over a period of a few days make it to 5 stars, or a few weeks or months even, they make it to 5 stars, and I go, oh, I gotta post that. But yeah, I had a brain injury due to cancer treatment, due to going into a coma, lack of oxygen in my brain, so it's profoundly changed everything about me. Really accentuated the way I always was, but I did almost the entire Pink Floyd The Wall and didn't remember it really. I did it in the night, and I work in like obsession mode, nothing stops me, nothing gets in the way. I don't take phone calls, I don't watch TV. I do constantly check on and subscribe back to everybody that subscribes me and make sure. I have a thing about I just don't want I don't even give a fuck about the thumbs. I just don't because after a while you're sure, oh, this is actually really good. But I don't want to have other people just post fuck you and bullshit like that on my site, and they rarely do. Happens once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'm due one now, actually, according to the stats. Somebody's going to post fuck you today or tomorrow, But anymore, it's like, that's like saying, hey guys, I've discovered there's pornography on the internet. Can you believe it? It's like, that's a given, I am going to try to make some redneck high tea. Oh, man. The only position this is my bathroom. This whole place is just absolutely it's totally filled up right now. So I don't really show you around. My bathroom's really dirty. Redneck high tea. Oh, did I have one over here? Actually, I think I did Mountain Dew and piping hot tea. No, I drank them all. I drink a lot of sodas. I don't take any drugs or alcohol at all anymore. And that's really been key to sort of, people who say, this is great music if you're stoned when you listen to it. I've, a lot of friends that make mixes and be like, this is, listen to the stoned, it really makes sense. But if you can make music that trips people out who are absolutely sober, then you're onto something, I was addicted to morphine because of a chronic pain condition that I have to date. It's killing me right now even. It put me out of touch with reality so long. I mean, it's a beautiful experience, but now that I'm back in reality, I see like, oh my God, I was so far out there, and I thought I wasn't. But also, it's just, even in so much pain, it's fantastic to be in touch with reality. I don't see how anybody could create any kind of art fucked up. I found like several thousand songs I wrote and recorded when I was stoned that some of them are pretty damn good, and some of them, a couple are real good, but most is just absolute unorganized garbage, Oh, I love that. Mountain Dew and a piping hot tea, about, 2/3 tea, 1/3 Mountain Dew. It's beautiful. But, yeah, it's cold outside. Maybe I'll try this vlog style. All this synchronicity happens all the time. People send me something, then I find it and cover it, or it's really touching, and there's just so much stuff. It's such a vast YouTube, and such a, television's such a waste, and YouTube hasn't really gotten the art of fucking your world up with commercialism and commercials and bullshit. They haven't gotten that down to an art yet. They will, I'm sure. In fact, the whole thing will probably be changed to be where they can make even more money somehow, because it's too actually really groovy right now as it is, It's great. But the storage alone, I mean, I upload maybe 500 gigs a month, just me. That's a substantial investment on their part. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to probably eventually take people through a day of how I work, and I usually get up before sunrise and start sequencing and mixing, and I'm jumping back and forth in between projects all the time. Then I'll find one that catches my interest and stick on it for a day or two and finish it. I usually post a video every 2 weeks or 2 a week. I mean, it's, a few every couple of weeks usually. And some of them are good. Yeah. I guess I looked at some of my vlogs. I have to when I'm proofing them. If anything, I'd say to anybody that records anything or makes any kind of art or music or something, just do it. It's like freaking Nike, but just for me, just doing it, even when I don't feel like it, and doing it daily is really key. The people that follow my music and vlog, like some stuff comes out really awesome. And I can make, if I pay attention, I think we all can make anything come out awesome. It's really about, just going over it and over and over it, and doing all basics that really make things work for me. Listen to each track all the way through completely. Make sure that it's clean, doesn't distort, doesn't woof out on the bass, doesn't scissor out and pierce in the mid-range and highs. Every track, it's faster to listen to every track all the way through once, even though you don't want to, because you want to jump into mixing and effects and stuff. But it turns out to be faster to listen to a 4-minute song and with 10 tracks, 40 minutes each, all the way through, and make sure it's completely clean before you get everything all mixed up with. And I use maybe 5 to 10 processors, compressors, EQs, delays, reverbs, 3 reverbs usually on each track, but not to make it, just to create an environment, not to make it big and expansive, but to make it real. Small reverbs usually, small, medium, and large actually. But anyway, once you get into that, it's really hard. Then you got to mute a bunch of stuff, figure out what's clean and where the distortion is coming from. So it's just the basics, For anybody starting out, I would just say, and you want to know the stuff to buy, I mean, I I would buy Mac or PC. My optimum thing would be Mac, and would be Logic Pro with the Apogee guitar input and the Apogee mic. Apogee Digital makes a product called Mic. It's a condenser mic, USB, with a preamp built in. Stunning clarity and quality. Would have cost you $5,000 10 years ago. It's like $200 today. And then they make a 1/4 inch. Anything Apogee makes is totally professional. I have interfaces that I paid $3,000 to $5,000 for that are the latest stuff that they make for $200 is the equivalent of these interfaces. So there's an Apogee ensemble there on the counter right there. Anyway, it's just such a fucking disaster in here. I don't really show around much to just show what a crazy bastard I am. But admittedly, and you know what? I'm crazier the older I get, but the thing that's kind of changed is I'm really comfortable with that now. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to hide. I don't do any sort of security type work or, sign non-disclosure agreements where I can't talk about things, although some of those are binding for life. Some stuff I can't ever talk about that I've done, just because you'll get your ass sued. It's not like secret or fucking, I don't know, CIA bullshit. It's just fucking, you make an agreement not to talk about something or they can really sue you. But anyway, yeah, I would go with a Mac with Logic Pro with Apogee guitar and Apogee mic on the input. But equally as cool for PC, DigiDesign Inbox Mini with Pro Tools. That way you get the hardware and the software in one package. And then I would also buy, I use an MXL 990 mic, which is a large capsule condenser mic, it takes 48 volt phantom power, which is supplied by the Inbox. So with that, you can record anything. The Inbox will let you input guitar, 1/4 inch, XLR, and it's pretty good. I use it a lot now. I've had a lot of practice, so the main thing about really high-end gear and high-end studios is that it's more forgiving. In other words, when your final mix, if you're when you get 100 tracks or 128 tracks flying around and several assistants and all kinds of stuff going on, you can make mistakes. And so I've had to turn the damn heater on. So anyway, really expensive professional gear is just more forgiving. But when you really have a lot of practice at this and know exactly what you're doing, it's best to have a pure signal. That's awesome. But a reasonably pure signal, such as the Inbox and the MXL 990, they're not super high end, but it's good enough for me to then go into and fix up and make perfect. It's good enough to make perfect. Yeah, those are some of my thoughts. I'm going to try to keep these briefer, but again, this is kind of just for me and sort of to list what I'm doing here, and keep like a little log of it. Everything's real good. I'm just kind of had to turn the heat on finally. Anyway, let's see if I can pull off pissed off rapper or poltergeist ending. All the pissed off rappers on YouTube that make videos, they always got to slam the camera and the mic at the end. It's hilarious. They go like, yo, peace out, motherfucker.